nigga named Booby.
Oh, hey y'all. Welcome. Welcome back to a long-awaited episode of The Man Behind the Beard. I am your host, Nick Breezy. I know I haven't been doing my due diligence, doing my job of giving you guys, the storytelling and the content. But I have been getting text messages and phone calls like, hey, Breezy, where the video at? Like, you slipping, da-da-da. I know. Trust me, I know. But life be life, y'all. And, most of y'all, all of y'all don't know, but I film in my sneaker room and slash office. So I'm trying to change up a lot of stuff that's in here and, kind of make it a little more presentable. So right now, I just, I film in this corner. So, but what I want to talk to you guys about today was communication and me not putting out content, me putting out the storytelling is a form of non-communication, right? So let's just jump right into it. Communication. I don't think people really understand that communication is vital as fuck, like vital. Um, it's just as important as having a heart or having, a kidney, lungs and ribs, and like it's a vital part of your relationship. Just like those organs are a vital part of your body, the relationship with your body. Communication is vital to friendships or relationships as a whole, whether friendships or romantic relationships. So, and that's one thing I've consistently failed at. Communication has kind of been hard for me, though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I think maybe for a lot of dudes too, it's kind of hard for us to really talk about it and talk about like what we need, what we want, what's going on with this, so on and so forth, because we feel like we're, doing our job as a man or a person or whatever to kind of like hide and take care of whatever situation that is behind the scenes and, not let anybody know about it, right? So, I had a conversation recently about communication with someone, and I told them, to me, communication, far as friendships go, is a lot easier to me to communicate to a friend about whatever I got going on or whatever the case is, vice me communicating with you know romantically. So they asked me why, and I said, well, to me, while I love my friendships, like I really really do, uh, there's no true obligation to me communicating with friends. While I can love them all and have a great time with them, and I share stories and details about my life with them, I don't owe that to them. I mean, I guess in the sense that you do, well, I guess I do owe that to them because, like, if I say you're my friend, then you're my friend. But in a greater sense, like, I don't owe that to you. You know what I mean? So, but now, if I got a lady, I owe that to her. I owe that to let them, or we as people, right? We owe that truth. We owe that open communication with them to, let them know like shit is okay, like everything's okay, like allow them to have a peace, for themselves because, their options aren't being taken away because you're openly communicating with them about how you feel, what you think, what you know, what you saw, all of these things. And it helps them bring like a calmness to themselves because now they are more aware of like what's going on. And I think as men, I think we do a bad job. A lot of us, not all of us, because I know a lot of good men that are open communicators, and like everything is Gucci. And I don't know if, and I think that's what I've always been afraid of a little bit of like open communication because so open communication to me is just what I said, right? Like just being open about everything and the options not being taken away. But the caveat to it is I've always been afraid of the outcome, regardless of what the truth is. It could be something small or it could be something huge, but I've always kind of been afraid of the outcome. So I've always kind of just like, if something would come up, I would just, handle it myself and not even, tell the person about it. But if I really, really had to tell them, then hey, then I gotta just tell you. But nonetheless, I'm still afraid of the damn outcome. Like I don't want you spazzing out on me or being mad or being upset or anything like that. But in the long run, though, by me not communicating with you and not trying to hurt your feelings because of whatever thing came up, I'm still hurting your feelings. You know what I mean? Because when I do tell you after the fact, it's like, damn, why did you just tell me from jump and we want to be going through this shit right now? And I don't know. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's hard to communicate sometimes. But either way, you're going to get you're going to get the result and that is warranted at that time. So if you just upfront and honest, like, hey, babe, sugar, darling, my guy, my friend, whoever, like, blah, 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 cool. Like, all right, bet. But now if you doing the me or the old me, I guess, and it's something like, I'll be real with y'all. Like, I'm still learning this whole, communication thing, man. Like, it's like the shit is hard for me. I don't know, it's because like, how I grew up. And I hate to keep taking it back to, childhood traumas or whatever the case is. Like I hate to take it there, but I think part of it is about my upbringing a little bit. Like my family, like we're not the biggest communicators. Like we talk, like we're good. Like we're all of us, we talk, we're good. But at the same time, though, we don't talk. You know what I mean? And now me and my brothers, we talk, but I still think that sometimes there's like, some sort of like service level communication that's there, but not like we don't actually like dive into like us as people or us as, brothers and stuff like that. And again, it probably just goes back to just us wanting to keep shit close to the chest. And that's completely fine because I don't need to know everything. You know what I mean? Like as a brother, as a friend, as a boyfriend, as a spouse, whatever. Like I don't need to know everything. I don't need to know like, hey, this and the third happened today. Because I'm going to literally just give you like a okay, like I may ask a question too or something like that. But like I'm really, really low maintenance in a lot of senses. Um, and I think that's probably been one of my biggest problems. Is because I'm just so low maintenance. It's not that I'm nonchalant. It's just that I'm just very low maintenance. Like I care, but I don't care. And um, it's just easier for me just to, be like, okay to shit. You know what I mean? But going back to the whole communication process or issue, we need that, man. We as a whole need communication. I could tell. I know there's a story that I have about. Well, there's a lot of stories about me not communicating properly, right? So one time, uh, I was dating this girl. And I think I just didn't want to kick it with her. Like I didn't want to like talk to her. Not talk, I didn't want to talk to her, but I didn't want to. I didn't really want to kick it with her for that weekend. I believe, and so I think I told her it wasn't a thing. I told her that my phone dropped in the toilet or something. It dropped in the toilet and I didn't have a phone for like a day or something like that. And then I finally got it back, and it took me a minute to like reset everything. And I didn't have a number, and it finally came back up. And at the time, I don't think she knew any different. She was like, all right, cool. She just bought it, right? Like, I don't think women are stupid. I think women just believe what they choose to believe. And I think men as a whole, we believe what we choose to believe. But she believed what she chose to believe at that moment. And she was like, all right, cool, whatever. And like the next day, we was like Gucci, you know what I mean? But I just didn't want to kick it with her that weekend. Like I think I just wanted my alone time. But now I could have avoided that whole lie, that whole charade, right? By just saying like, hey, you know, I think I'm gonna kick it with myself this weekend, you know, some one-on-one time. But I didn't, you know what I mean? Because I was afraid that I was gonna hurt her feelings, right? By making her feel that like, damn, like why he don't want to spend time with me? Like why don't he want to be with me or whatever? And that felt more harmful to tell her that uh than me just lying about, you know, me not having a phone for a day or something like that. And I don't know, man, like lying in a sense became like a form of communication for me. It felt so easy to lie. And I don't know where I got that from. I don't know where I interpreted it from. I don't know. I think maybe blame my sperm donor, to be honest with you. Excuse me, to be honest with you, blame my sperm donor. I think I saw it was easy for him to lie so much and not care about the outcome. And Vice just telling, say, my mom, you know, like, hey, blah 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 blah. And now she might have threw a fucking fit. She might have like raised hell, but at the same time though, um, you know, like at least the truth was out there, and now you can do with it, you know, with what you want. So. And I believe going back to like I said, maybe like a childhood trauma type of thing, like me seeing that like was embedded in my head now, which is why like now like I do a lot of stuff that I do now, or at least try to do that is right. I do it in front of the boys. I do it in front of my sons, and because they watch. Kids watch, man. Kids watch, they see, they learn, especially from those that they feel like are their heroes, right? That they look up to. And at that time, way back when, like sperm donor, you know, he was like that hero to me. And like he was so you it's kind of hard to describe him, but he was like my Hulk Hogan, right? You know, like he's not a big guy, but he was a big guy, you know, maybe like 5'10", you know what I mean? Um, like he had a coolness about him, you know what I mean? Like this man, to this day, this man still has a Jerry curl. Like, yes, he has a Jerry curl. And yeah, a Jerry curl. But anyway, so for me, him having like the long hair, you know, and being a big guy, you know, with muscles or whatnot, it just kind of reminded me of Hulk Hogan. And I was like amazed at that shit. Like I was amazed at it because like he was that dude for me. But in the long run, you know, seeing him how he was moving and going about his business, you know, how he was the mistreatment to my mom. And granted, it's none of my business on how they, you know, they got along. But from what I can see, only thing I can see is what I saw, right? You know, him lying, him cheating, him, you know, hiding shit from her, so on and so forth. And I think because I saw on surface, I saw her buy into the lie, you know, but eventually catching him up, it was like, cool, you know, if that's the only thing you got to do, and this is the outcome, and it's only temporary. All right, I guess that's how we're gonna roll. You know what I mean? I guess that's how we're gonna roll. So, with that being said, communication, I never really learned it, man. Like, I never really learned it until I had to get older. And even with older brothers, I no disrespect to my brothers, but I kind of feel like they did me a little bit of a disservice by not teaching their baby brother, as they like to call me, not teaching their baby brother, you know, like how to talk to women, or how to move, and how to just be a man in a sense, like to have that open communication, to not be a liar, to not deceive, and just being a very, very decent human being, and living with the repercussions of life, and just allowing things just to be what they are. So I had to learn at the hard way, going through relationships, and um, picking and choosing, like, or not picking and choosing, but taking out things from every relationship, and trying to apply them to the next relationship. Kind of being like, not being cookie cutter for each relationship, but for the most part, like, okay, what did I learn from this girl? 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 And then trying to apply all of that to one girl, and thinking like the shit was gonna work, when in all reality, it doesn't. Like, it doesn't work. Like, yeah, you can take what you learned from other past relationships and be like, all right, this is what I learned from this last relationship, so let me take that in for myself, but not apply it to this woman. So I say that in the sense of like, okay, one woman in particular, okay, well, two different women in my life. One of them really, really likes flowers. Really likes flowers. That's like, you know, her love language. But yet another one does not like flowers, hates flowers. So why would I give, flowers to the next woman? Now, the whole, you know, wash, rinse, and repeat is, all women like flowers, but not all women like flowers. So why would I take that? Why would I take, well, this woman likes flowers, so then I'm gonna apply it to this woman? No, because that's not their form of communication. And I think that's what we also have to be cognizant of too, while my mind is thinking about it, is when we communicate with with individuals, with our friends, with our you know lovers, or romantic relationships, with our significant others, we have to be aware, like, how we say things, how we deliver things isn't always going to be how the next person receives it. So when I say that, to say is, like, I could be telling one person, like, hey, my love language is I don't know, words of affirmation, right? That's actually is one of my love languages. Words of affirmation. And now how they interpret that is different. So their version of words of affirmation just might be like, Nick, you look great today. Now that's a compliment, right? Like, that's a word of affirmation. Uh, and that's what I need, right? As a love, that's definition of words of affirmation. But because I don't receive compliments well, I'm just like, yeah, thanks. You know, so we have to be able to understand, like, the other person and how we communicate to them. And I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I have been bad at, like I said before, I've been bad at communicating. Like, whether it was verbally or physically, like giving them gifts, or I'm not going to say that with the physical aspect of it, but when it comes to open my mouth talking communication, I've been very, very bad at it. And we as a whole just need to take a turn on that, man, because it's not going to be good. Like, we tell our kids, like, just say it, just tell me the truth, and da 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 da, nothing's going to happen to you. But yet we turn around and do the opposite, with our spouses and friends and shit like that. So we gotta stop that. We gotta stop that. Like I said before, man, we gotta just be better people as a whole, and just talk to each other, man. Like, you gotta be able to just be able to be comfortable, and comfortable enough, at least, to talk to those individuals and just let them know, like, what's going on. Closed mouths don't get fed. Closed mouths do not get fed. And in this season, right? In this season of all of us, we have to get fed. Communication, talking to each other. We don't always know that we don't know that the other person needs help, or people don't know that we might need help because we're just being closed mouth about it, and we gotta stop doing that. I know for myself, I have to be better as being a better friend, because I have a friend, Kilo. Shout out to my boy Kilo. Um, where Kilo, he's a really really great friend. Like he's younger than me, but he's a wise guy. He's a wise man, for real, for real. But he'll call, right? He'll call me maybe like 2 days in a row or something like that. And but I work a lot, and he knows that. Like he knows I work a lot. But excuse me, well he'll call like back to back, kind of like a Monday and a Tuesday or whatever. He'll call back to back, and I won't answer the phone, or I can't answer the phone, I should say. And uh, I'll eventually call him back like days later, and he'll be like, "Damn, nigga, like, what up, whole nigga?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, bro, like, my bad, my bad, my bad." And but like that's to me that's being bad communication, because it's like, if I saw that you called day one, why am I waiting till day 7 to call you back? You know what I'm saying? Or like another instance where like I have a group chat with my boys, Glenn and Isaac, and I just needed like a hiatus. You know what I'm saying? From the group chat to get like all of this off the ground for the most part. I just kind of need a real, real big hiatus. So like I wasn't involved in a group chat for like a solid week and a half. And like Glenn called me to check up on me. I think he called me like once or twice, just to like check up on me or whatever. And I didn't answer the phone. Like I just needed a break, from people. I need a break from people. And so sue me. No one sue me. I have no money, but um, I need a break. But instead of just saying that to them, like, hey man, like I'm going dark for a little minute, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going dark. So I'll hit y'all up when I'm good. And but I didn't say anything. And so when I did, reintegrate myself back into the group chat, it was like, nah, what the fuck you been at? Da, 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 da. I'm like, look, man, blah 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 blah. So it's always like after the fact for me. Me having to explain, or me choosing to explain like what happened after the fact, and vice just saying it from jump. And that's still something I'm learning to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I said, communication for me isn't necessary. It's not hard, but it's hard. Pause. But I'm learning. I'm adjusting. I really, really am. And that's part of one of my teaching lessons with my sons is you gotta communicate. You gotta communicate. You gotta talk, man. Because if I don't know, I can't help you. And I think this is like one of those situations where I have to take my own advice, but it's hard to take your own advice because it's like like I know right from wrong. I know what I should be doing, but I'm choosing. I'm choosing not to do it, and that's the part right there, the choice of not wanting to do it. And I'm trying to break free of that and just tell myself there is no choice. That you have to communicate. You have to say this. You have to say that. And but I don't know. It's easier for me. Like I said earlier, I believe that it's easier for me to you know tell the truth or be open and communicate with my friends via like romantic relationships. And don't get me wrong, like I don't tell my friends everything, just like they don't tell me everything, which is completely fine because, like I said, I'm a very low maintenance ass friend. And then, like a lot of my friends, not a lot of them, but yeah, I guess a lot of them are in relationships or married. So, like I'm not gonna know all the intimate details of your marriage. You know what I mean? So I don't need to know that. I don't want to know, yeah, man, me and her got into it the other day because of blah 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 blah. Now I completely just made that up because none of them have ever said that to me. But I don't need to know the intimate details of your relationships. I don't. Now, if you choose to tell me, that's something different. But I don't need to know. And the same thing goes with me. Like I don't. I don't feel the need to truly give you all of my life. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel the need to give you all of my life. So what I choose to tell you, what I choose to be open with you about, you will know. Like you'll definitely know. And you'll get all the meat and potatoes of the story and everything like that. Um, but sometimes though, and that's easier because I don't have to do that. Like I said before, like I don't have to give you all the meat and potatoes. But now, a wife, girlfriend, you know, significant other, whatever, like I have to obligate myself to that. Like I have to tell you these things. And that is so hard to do. Like that is really, really hard to do at times. And I'm learning. And we all have to, be better at that, man. Like because it only gets harder the more and more you prolong telling it only gets harder the longer you prolong on communicating. And who wants a hard life? Like who really wants a hard life? Nobody. Who chooses to have a hard life? I guess in a sense me. I guess I've chosen to have hard lives at this point because I've been a good communicator. And I don't know if a lot of my, past relationships they'll probably agree that I wasn't the best communicator. Um, and maybe in some instances, like I really, really was. Like I was very open. I was very like straight to the point, very honest with them. One thing. So here's the one thing about me. One thing I'm not gonna do is when I tell you, whatever. I'm not gonna lie to you about it. But on the other hand, now that I think about it, I have lied. Um, and I think that's going to be an episode though. But either way, when I have been open about it, like I may have not necessarily fully lied about the communication of what I'm telling you, but I may have like sugarcoated a little bit. I might have like, all right, well, this is what it is, but this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So like, sugarcoating isn't good communication at all. Like, because you're lying still, and you're not being open, you're not being transparent, you're not being honest about like whatever the fuck you got to tell this person. And it doesn't have to be like big things. It could be like very, very small things. You know what I mean? So I was in a situation where she wanted me to like give her like like tell her like my schedule, you know what I mean, like what my life was doing at the time and whatnot, what was my work life like. And it was cool at first, like it was cool, like yeah, I'm working, I work this that and the third, blah 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 blah. And like after a while for me though, it was like, why do I have to tell you like when I'm working? Like, just know that I'm working this day, or just know that this, that, and the third is gonna happen, or whatever. It became like a chore versus me just wanting to communicate with her about that. And I don't like feeling like things become chores because if I want to do it, then I'll just do it. So I don't like feeling like things are chores. And at some point, that became like a chore to me. And the only thing for her was just open. It was just communication. It was just open communication. Like she just wanted to know, and I couldn't. I stopped providing that for her, and then it just became like a downward thing after that. But I just want to leave you guys with this. communicate to your people, man. Like, talk to them, be there for them. Be honest with yourself. Like, communicate to yourself, and above all else, communicate to God, man. Like, communicate to God, and He knows more than what you think you know. But have that open communication with Him. Build that relationship with God too, because that's who's gonna help guide you in a better way anyway. He's gonna help guide you in better directions and give you better guidance than your friends, than your family, and even what your instincts tell you. Like, talk to Him first, build that communication with Him, and then everything else will pretty much take a domino effect, and everything will just be better. Going back to the Kobe video, like, just be better. Continue to hold yourself accountable in communication. Acknowledge what the fuck you did. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid of the outcome, because the outcome gonna be the outcome. You may have this idea in your head that oh man, she gonna blow the fuck up on me, or she gonna do this, or he gonna do that. If they do, they do. That's their choice. Just like it was your choice to do whatever it is. But just be better, man. Communicate. Open your mouth. Like I said, communication is just as vital as an organ in your body. You need it to drive the relationship, to drive your relationships. You need that communication, because if you don't, it's not going to go anywhere. You got to be able to talk. You got to be able to use your words. You got to be able to not forward think about what's going to happen. Just let it be. Be still. Be still. Be in the moment. And I promise you, even though I'm saying this, that I don't take my own advice, it'll be okay. Like, it'll be alright. I promise you. Like, it'll be okay. But you have to allow yourself to know that it's going to be okay. And everything will work itself out. So, yeah. I think that's really about it with communication. But I want to leave you guys with this last thing. So I'm kind of doing like a 2-part episode on this communication thing. So, you got my story piece on it. You got my little 1-2 punch on it. But part 2 is going to be me and a guest, a good friend of mine. So a lot of y'all that watches the channel, watches the page, you guys don't know her. But a lot of you guys that do watch the page know her. So, hopefully all of this stuff just, reaches those that need to be reached to. And, continue to learn from my mistakes, man. I'm not perfect. As Jigga said, no one walking this earth surface is. You know what I mean? But I'm learning. I'm a 37-year-old man. I'm still learning every day about communication and how vital it really, really is. So, until next time, thank you for support, continued support. Thank you for asking me for the content. Those of you that have. Thank you guys for continue to subscribe. Excuse me, tongue tied. Subscribe to the page. Share it. Hit the comment, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, and we'll just keep going from there, man. So until next time, Beardos, peace.